First up is a box from one of my sponsors, which is Roll and Bessie Ben. Their link is always in the description. And I was after some hex bits. I'll show you. So because all my jigs and that, they have hex head bolts, and a lot of my fixtures and fittings on my knives are hex head bolts. I did have a crappy set, which they're just no good at all, and I needed a decent set, and Roll and Bessie Ben were kind enough to send me these, the Bond Husk ones, and yeah, the quality of them's on point actually. Nice and solid, nice and heavy, so they're going to work perfectly for what I need it for. They also got one of the small, same brand, Gorilla Grip ones, just handy to have lying around in a drawer somewhere, and if I need two of the same size. And they've also sent me a random wire brushes for me to try out, and some cups, which will come in handy for some restorations, which I'll have coming up soon. Don't forget to check those out, their link is in the description as always. Thank you. So up next I've got some an order from Barman Special Steels. And that's where I order my stainless steel and my VG10 stuff. It's Takafu, he's the UK supplier for that stuff. So I got more of the 67 layer with a VG10 core in the 4mm and the 2.5, and then the other bits from Sandvik. I'll put his link in the description, so don't forget to go check those out, especially if you're looking for steels in the UK. Up next, this is a big box, and this is from Andy at Cuttlebrook Knives. I did a bit of a trade with him. I swapped some scales for some stuff I kept posting and saying he wanted to get rid of. So I traded with Andy this cool little rivet setter. It does quite a few little things. You can set dies and all sorts in it. It's just old and cool looking. I'm not sure what I'll use it for yet, but I'm sure I'll find a use for it. You get some extra dies and stuff in here, and it's still got all the old sticker work and whatnot on it. And also an angle poised lamp. I've been trying to get one of these for a while, but if you look on eBay or anywhere, they go for silly money, and if they do get delivered, they get absolutely destroyed. So this is probably going to go by my 2x72 grinder. I'll maybe put an LED light in it once I've fixed it up. So thanks a lot for that, Andy. I'll put his link in the description, so check him out. So recently I put on my Instagram that I was after some oak, and after looking all over, I did have some and it had split. And when I looked online, people at the moment are charging silly money. So Mark from Shop Dog Workshop messaged me and offered to send me a nice big block. There you go. It's a chunky old block, and I'll get a fair few sets of handle scales out of it, but it looks like it's got some nice figuring in it as well, and it'll work perfectly for what I'm going to use it for. So head on over to Mark's Instagram and check him out, and thanks a lot for that, mate. Last but not least, my good friend Brad. He felt guilty for not sending me sweets last time, so he said he was going to send me some sweets. While I was talking to him on Instagram, he was chopping a cherry tree down and he kindly sent me a slab of that. I'll have to put that up in the loft to dry out for a bit because it's got quite a bit of moisture in it. But yeah, it looks like it's going to have some nice patterning in there, and then that'll go on some knife handles in the future. But let's get to the job at hand. I recently bought a load of root beer, and when Brad seen that I bought root beer as well, he decided to go all out and send me a load of American sweets. And then there's all sorts in here. But obviously I'll be sure to share it with Rico as well. Thanks again for that, Brad. And cheers for the wood. And that concludes today's video. Unfortunately, not going to be any outtakes of today. I've done it quite well, I think. And that concludes today. Thank you to everyone who watches these videos. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch these. I know they're not everyone's cup of tea, but I'm just putting videos up like this, especially while everyone's in quarantine and on lockdown, just to keep you all entertained, and also it gives you a bit of an insight into stuff that goes on behind the scenes with me. Like I say, the big builds will be coming up. There should have been a big build before this. Like I say, there'll still be big builds up coming up, and there should have been a build up just before this video, I think. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you. Thanks a lot for watching these videos. I really appreciate you taking the time out to